So, Andy, a very warm welcome to the Magic Money podcast.
Thank you.
Our very, very first guest. So, you're obviously someone very special in my life.
Oh, you say the sweetest things.
So, so yeah. So, obviously, we want to talk about money through the business that we both do. But before we get into that, do you want to just share your background? Before you got involved in Utility Warehouse.
Yeah. All through my life, all my working life, I've always had a side hustle. I've always had a second job. In the RAF, I had extra extra jobs. Used to call it moonlighting in those days. Or I always had something else. And right through my life, I've had something. But on the occasion of coming to this, I was a police sergeant in Wiltshire Constabulary. I had 2.5 years to retire. I knew I was going to be getting a reasonable pension, very reasonable, but I knew also that I was going to be losing a third of my income on the day that I retired.
Yeah.
And my goal, my dreams were not to have a boss, to be able to go on holiday without asking for time off, leave, see the roster to see who was on, and to travel. We love to travel. And since that was 14 and a half years ago, roughly, that I joined this business. And it'll be, I think it'll be 12 years this June that I've been retired. And having retired, I've never had a job since.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So now, I know I pestered you a little bit in the beginning, and you said no to me a few times. But what eventually was it that
Six
attracted you?
times, 6 times I said no to you. But I tell you what, I am glad you kept on asking because I would not have the life I got now if it hadn't been for you, mate.
No, thank you for that. Well, we'll come into your lifestyle in a minute. But so after, obviously I asked you a few times, spoke to you a few times about this. What was it that eventually attracted you to join?
The attraction was there the first time you came to me, but my life just wasn't in the right place. I was going through a lot that I won't go into on this call. But I was going through a lot of the time, and I saw what I saw was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Because as I say, I'd always had a side hustle, but this was the one thing that showed that I could get a recurring income. It was like a book writer, an author, or a singer getting royalties every time their book is sold or their song is played. And I'd never seen that before. Everything I'd done before was I work so many hours, I get paid so much money, and if I don't work, I don't get paid.
Yeah, so
This was the one time.
linear income then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was an income that paid itself, and like last month, I didn't do any work last month. I had a lot going on. I didn't do any work, but what I call my second pension, which is UW, I actually earned more in those royalties last month, much, much more than a state pension. And there are so many people who are living only on a state pension.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll come to a little bit more into how the income side of things works. But for the listeners who aren't familiar with UW, what and obviously you're a utility warehouse partner. That's what we call ourselves. What does your role involve? And just what's the concept in simple terms?
In the simplest of terms, there are a huge amount of companies out there that are trying to sell products to people and they don't have the money to do it. We are selling services to people for less money than they're paying already. So in a way, you could say you're not really selling it; they've already got it. But do you want to have your utilities at the price that you're with your current company, or would you rather pay that much less with us, and that
Love,
difference can go towards whatever it is you love to do in life?
love that.
In simple terms, we save people money, and the company pay us for helping them save money.
Cool. Okay. So a utility provider in the normal sense of the word, just with a slightly different business model, helping people save money on what services do they provide?
Yeah, so it's all the services we already use. The ones that we deal with is broadband, energy, SIM. We deal with that ourselves. At head office, they also deal with boiler cover, home, and content insurance. The unique thing about UW is when it was initially put together, they only used in-house IT, which means that they literally have a single bill for all of the services. And there is no other company out there can actually change their business model to do what we do because they're already too far down the line. So we're totally
Right.
unique in this business space.
Okay, perfect. So, so you joined 14 and a half years ago. How long does it take to see some sort of meaningful income for your efforts in this business, would you say?
Nowadays, in fact, it's a little bit like it before, but the income wasn't as much when we started. But nowadays, depending on which day of the month you join and which day of the month you get your first customer, your first income could be less than a month.
Less than a month.
Yeah, yeah. You can be going out generally with your mentor, the person that introduces you. You could be with them on the day that you sign up. You could get your first customer, and depending on which day of the month it is, because they do the billing run at certain times a month, we get paid on the 21st of the month. So potentially you could get paid your first commission in less than 30 days.
And okay, so that's really interesting. So, and what sort of levels of income we potentially talking? You know, what could somebody earn in that first month
Yeah.
potentially?
Okay. So in the first month, primarily we like to go for towards homeowners. Main reason being is the company will pay us our commission in advance with no clawback. So we can actually get paid up to 5 years in advance of all our monthly commission. And even if that customer leaves 6, 8, 10 months later, the company doesn't claw it back. We keep the whole lot. So
Wow.
potentially in your first month, if you got 4 homeowners, and those 4 homeowners take three services, so energy, broadband, and SIM. And 60 to 70% of our customers do take 3 services. Potentially, that would earn you initially £250 each for each of those, and it takes less than an hour to do it. At the moment, we pay an extra bonus that if you get four in a month, instead of 250 per customer, giving you £1,000, they'll actually give you an extra £100 per customer. So in the first month, you could earn £1,400 for doing a couple of hours a week.
Okay, that's because when you were talking about hundreds of pounds, I was thinking, go, you'd have to put some, you know, to go and earn that in a normal sort of side hustle job like a bar work or delivery or something. You'd probably be having to put in 10 or 20 hours a week, I would guess,
At
to earn
least.
that sort of money. So, but you're saying just a couple of hours a week and you potentially earn several hundred or
Yeah.
even £1,000.
Yeah. So for a homeowner taking 3 services, £250, um, I would say generally it will almost always take under an hour. For somebody with a bit more experience, once you've done maybe 15, 20 customers, you'll probably be doing that in about 40, 45 minutes. So for £250 for less than an hour's work in a normal job, you would be working, I don't know what minimum wage is at the minute, but if we said £15 an hour, that's a lot of hours to have to work to get the same amount of money.
Yes. Okay. Now, yourself, you've said you've been in 14 and a half years, you have a nice lifestyle and income stream. So I, I don't know, but if this is all you do, this is your full-time job now, I suppose. So how many hours do you put in a week, roughly, would you say?
I would say, in fact, I was working this out just recently because over the whole time I've been doing it, I've had some weeks where I might do 6, 8, 10 hours. I've had some months where I do absolutely nothing at all. I reckon over the whole time I've been in this business, I probably do, on average, it probably averages out to be about 2 hours a week. At the moment, I am probably doing maybe doing about 10 minutes each day with a bit of social media stuff, 20 minutes a day, bit of social media stuff. I'm probably going out and meeting with people maybe once a week. So that's about an hour. So even now, I'm retired from full time work for this business now. I'm probably doing maybe three, maybe 4 hours a week. and I'm actually earning more. I was talking to somebody from a local, very large UK store the other day that's been working there for over a year now. I'm actually earning more in passive income, in that royalty income. I'm earning more a year than he is earning working full time.
Wow. Okay.
That's
Now, you,
powerful.
now you've mentioned that term a couple of times, recurring passive royalty income. So I'm keen. A lot of people may not understand what that is. So I'm keen to understand how that works with UW and what does that actually mean?
Okay, so my very first customer was a guy called Martin. He was one of my team when I was a sergeant in the police. He had two desks down from me. And 14 and a half years ago, um, I let him know what I was doing. Could I pop round to his house to show him? And he liked it because of the savings and he joined. Every month he pays his bill. I earn between 3 and 5% of that bill. And the 3 and 5% is depending on, you get a different percentage for different services. That average, even 14 and a half years ago, was about £5 a month. Nowadays, it's more because of increases in energy, particularly. It's probably about £6 or £7 a month. I have earned that every month for over 14 years, even though I only went to him once to show him what the services were. So I've never had to go back to him, and I've been paid over and over and over. That's about 14 years, 12 months. It's a lot of money for only
Wow.
doing that job once, and then you balloon that out for all of your customers, and then you take that for all of your team as well, and it is that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There is nothing else like this in with this business model. It is unique.
So, so you sign up a customer once, and then you get this upfront bonus that you talked about, and then you can start earning this residual or royalty style income on a monthly basis ongoing. And how long does that last? How long?
Right, that will keep on going as long as the person is a customer. Now, I
Okay.
did say about with homeowners, we get paid in advance. So, say I sign up a homeowner that takes three services, I get £250. I don't earn any more from that particular customer then for 5 years. At the end of that 5 years, that person is likely to still be a customer because very few people leave this company. So, at 5 years and 1 month, that royalty income starts coming in at 3 to 5% ongoing forever as long as they remain a customer. Now,
Wow.
we help tenants as well. Obviously, it wouldn't be fair if we didn't. We earn the same amount of money from tenants. We just get paid differently. Well, the only difference with tenants is if they take three services, we don't get that 250 in advance. We don't get anything in advance, but that royalty income starts the following month. So you're actually building your pension pot in the background with your tenants and a different type of pension pot
Right.
in the background with your homeowners. You earn the
Yeah.
same amount of money from both, but you just get paid in two different ways.
Hmm. It's fascinating. And without revealing numbers, because I don't want you to reveal numbers, but how has this changed your life financially and just your lifestyle compared to when you were working, because you're not retirement age yet, I don't think. How old are you?
No, I'm 62 now. I was lucky I retired at 49, which is why I've been retired so long.
So wow, okay, so retired from the police at 49.
Yeah.
Haven't had to work since because of the income you receive from this business, and I know you've got a rental property as well. Okay, so financially, how it's changing, and your lifestyle now is different then, I guess.
Yeah. So when I retired on what used to be, we call it the old police pension. It's all changed since we retired. So I've got my pension there, which is enough to live on, but it's not enough to go on multiple holidays, eat out on a regular basis. Linda and I love fine dining. We love travel. That's our two passions. So by the time I retired, my royalty income, my passive income from UW, as I said earlier, hadn't quite filled the pension gap, but it was close enough that I didn't have to get a job. I could have carried on living with it both, and I've been living on roughly a sergeant's wage. Since then, I've carried on doing UW and I've built it. I now earn more with my passive income and my pension, so I'll call it my main pension, and my second pension is UW, I earn more from those two than I did as a police sergeant.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I go out and I talk to new customers, and I get new customers and I get those little 250s being paid or whatever it is I'm getting paid for the amount of services they take, that's an additional amount of earnings on top of my two pensions.
Okay.
The way it's changed my life is we now travel generally 6, 7 times a year. Uh, for example, we were in Egypt for Christmas. We were back in Egypt a few weeks ago. We came back about three weeks ago. I think we came back from Egypt in less than a week and a half now. Just looking at the calendar, in a week and a half, we fly out to India for 2.5 weeks to do
Amazing.
Taj Mahal and Agra and Jaipur, and then we're going to spend 6 nights in Goa on the beach in a hotel. We got 2 weeks away on a Caribbean cruise at Christmas this year coming. The following year, we've got a boat I think it's a 2 week boat trip up the Mekong River, going through Vietnam and Cambodia. And because we've got when we get back from India in May, we got a week in Tunisia. But then from May to Christmas is quite a long time, so we'll probably have another couple of holidays along there. And the great thing about this, I do this business when I'm on holiday. I'll be sat there on a deck chair with my glass of wine by the pool. I'll be keeping up with my social media. I've signed up about 3 people when I've been on different holidays in Thailand. Just because, as long as you've got Wi-Fi, I've signed up people in Thailand. I've signed up people in Spain. Yeah, I just keep in touch with people, and what am I doing? I'm laying there by
But
the pool, and I just still do the business. I can read a book, or I could do some of the business.
so for someone who's traveling maybe, but still got a base in the UK, they could do this as well. That's what you're saying,
As,
essentially.
as long as you've got an address that you can use in the UK, and you've got a UK bank account, and you're allowed to work in the UK, then the world's your oyster. And as I say, we travel a lot. I do this business from all over the world.
Now, it sounds to me like this is going to be a large investment to get started because most, if you when you start your own business, quite often you're talking thousands of pounds to get all the equipment you need, maybe a van and tools and what have you. So it sounds to me, the way that you earn money with this, that you're going to need a large investment up front. How does that work?
Okay. First of all, the investment is fully refundable. So if you try it and don't like it, you can just ask for your money back. And you correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's in the first 45 days, is it?
I think it's 45 to 60. Yeah, I think something like
Something like that. But it gives you time to try it. And if you don't like it, the investment up front is unbelievable. £10. 10
what
UK pounds is your
10 just
investment.
£10.
£10
Okay.
to register. And what I say to people, it's fully refundable. And I'll say to people, I'll be honest, if in your first 30 days, we haven't got a customer that that's obviously going to cover that anyway, then maybe you should be getting a refund anyway because it's not for you. Because this business, with the help of your mentor, because your mentor's going to do the work for you to start with. Your mentor's going to do your first at least 2, 3, 4 appointments for you, and they're already experienced.
Okay, so there's a mentoring program as well running alongside, so
But
you're not
fully
left with your own
mentored,
devices. Okay.
yeah, fully mentored, fully training, support. We got support groups. Like you and I work together regularly as a two-person support group to help people that are just coming on board, and it just gives them that um, knowledge. It gives them that cushion to know that they're not doing it on their own. They're not just being thrown out there into the wild. We will actually
Yeah.
help them and nurture them and actually do the work for them to start with, and they still get the complete commission. That's a great thing.
Right. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
you do the work for them and they still get paid, which is great,
they
isn't it?
still get paid the full commission, even though all they're going to do is sit there and watch and listen.
Take notes and stuff. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I was just coming on to actually training and support. So, what kind of training and support is it? Obviously that's amazing support, from the company. Is there any other sort of training or support available?
Regular Zoom trainings, or whatever platform different groups are using. Now, obviously, we use Zoom every Monday evening. We also have support groups on Sunday evenings. We have face-to-face meetings generally once a month somewhere locally, so we can have a drink and have a chat, meet up with the people. Because the thing about this business is you are working from home, you are on your own
Yeah,
a lot of the
yeah,
time
yeah,
when you're working. So it's nice to get together with people. The company put on events, and the events from the company are absolutely tremendous. Never ever to be missed if you can help it, because again, you see just how strong and how big this company is,
yeah,
and it just sets a new fire underneath you each time I go to one, to get out there and do more.
yeah. Okay. So lots of training and support available. And then how's that affected your own personal development then, the training and the support and what have you through the company?
I would say tremendously. In the police, I got promoted to sergeant. They send you on what's called a sergeant's course, but they don't teach you how to manage people, how to lead people, how to support people. The personal development in this business is absolutely tremendous. If I look at myself 14 years ago compared to now, and I've done a lot of personal development within this business, I would say I'm a totally different person to who I was back then. And I've gone from a position of I just want to make money to the position now is I just want to help people make money and achieve
Yeah.
what they never believed they could, because the smiles on their faces when they realize what's achievable, when they didn't believe they could do it, is the best feeling.
And that's a really nice way to work, isn't it? Knowing that, helping someone else is ultimately going to help you, but the mindset that, all you want to do is help people is tremendous, really, because, that will push your business forward as well, I'm guessing.
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes you do it for nothing. I was out with somebody the other day that is in a totally different part of the business to me, nothing to do with my team, but they were struggling in an area that I'm good at. So I took him out, and we worked together. I got him 4 appointments with what we were doing, but that was of no benefit to me at all. That was just purely cross network helping each other, because in this business, we help each other even when there's nothing to get back from it.
Okay, and I'm guessing also, if the partners in the business win, ultimately Utility Warehouse wins as well. So you're driving the business forward as well as your own business, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah,
when you're helping your own people, the people that you've brought in, or the people that you've brought in bring somebody in, there's all the support you need to help those people. And as I say, I love to see that their faces when they get their commissions come in. But yeah, it's
yeah,
helping me. Of course,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
helping
yeah,
me well within my team, but that kind of just looks after itself. I'm in that position now where I can just think about helping, and my income improves, but it improves exponentially to how much I can help somebody else and how much they can improve their life.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So, what advice would you give to someone who's considering this opportunity today?
Firstly, do it. No matter how much you think you may not be able to do it, you're going to be so well supported that you can listen to that support and do what it says on the tin. The thing about this business, what we do is extremely simple. Don't try and reinvent the wheel, because it looks too simple and it won't work. It honestly,
Yeah,
I tried to reinvent the wheel when I first started, and in those days we had a folder with pages in it, and I put all these extra pages in because I thought the people I was seeing needed to see it. And I went to a training one day and basically had it all ripped out by the trainer saying, "Do what we show you. It works." And I started doing what they were showing us. And I went from being really bad at this to actually improving and actually getting customers and making money. So it is a really, really simple concept of what we do. Just have the trust in your mentor, have the trust in the company to believe that it may look too simple, but it really, really does work. So just follow what you're shown.
Okay, so simple system, just follow what you're taught, what the system says, and then hopefully you should be successful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And quickly then, finally on the future. So, what excites you most about the future with this opportunity?
More holidays. Uh, Now, I think that there is there is new things coming along. Yeah, we hear rumours of new services we may be providing as time goes on. If we're offering new services, if you just think the customer group that you already have when you get to a certain point in the business, if those customers already like the services they're taking, and then the company bring out a new service, I don't know, maybe it'll be car insurance or water or whatever it may be. It may be something that's not even been invented yet. I don't know. But because the customers already trust the company, they're likely to take those services. When they take those services, because you get a percentage of all the services, your commission goes up from the customers you've already got. And from the customers you don't have yet, you're offering your customers more services to choose from to make it easier for them to become customers. And then they can
Okay.
add extra services later on down the line if everything doesn't fit at the time you see them.
And you continue to get paid on any additional services that they take further
Yeah,
down the road. Okay.
yeah.
So now, little Dicky Bird told me that the company last year hit 1 million customers. Now, that seems to be a long time that's taken for them to get to 1 million customers. I think they started in 1996 to 2024.
Yeah.
What would you say about that in the future for somebody who's looking at this with,
It's the time well, in fact, if you and I look back to when we hit 500,000 and the amount of time it took to get to 500,000, that wasn't so many years ago. And now we've hit 1 million. The belief is with the way the company is growing at such an extreme speed at the moment, we're likely to hit the 2 million in an absolute fraction of the time it took us to get from 500,000 to 1 million. So it's actually gaining pace. It is a really good time to come on board because this company is growing in leaps and bounds, whereas the other utility companies, they're pretty much treading water. You know, they're losing customers at the speed they're trying to bring them on. Whereas we our churn rate, the speed that we lose customers, is a tiny percentage compared to the other utility companies.
okay. So real growth curve at the moment for the business. So really good time for people to come on board. And obviously, the economy at the moment isn't great, is it? People out there struggling, all sorts of bills going up on the 1st of April. So it would be a really great time for people to get involved. And what they need to do to get involved?
Just talk to the person that asked them to look at these videos, talk to the person that you got their card, however you met them, however you heard about UW, just go back to that person and just say to them, just don't stop talking to me, just sign me up. Help me make money. You don't need to talk to me
Okay,
anymore. I believe you. Sign me up.
cool. Brilliant. Andy, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you this morning. Thank you ever so much for giving up your time coming on to the Magic Money podcast. And guys, um, hit that button below, follow us, get subscribe to the channel, and there'll be more, hopefully, more videos coming very soon. All right, goodbye for now, and thanks very much, Andy.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.